I got these in Miami probably last year, and I did everything the right way. I got the mouth guard that you sleep with because I was too scared that I ground my teeth at night and everything. But after like the first week, I stopped, bro, because I'm just like I can't sleep with anything in my mouth.
That's how
Just
I
like
was. I've chipped like 3 or 4 of them, bro. Like, luckily you can't tell, but I can feel it. I gotta get them redone.
Well, let's go ahead and get started, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Jeremy Buendia on the podcast today. First and foremost, man, thank you so much for doing this, taking time in your busy schedule. I know you got a family now and everything, so really appreciate you doing this, man. Before we get like into fitness and bodybuilding and everything, man, I want to talk about you just as a person, really. Like, where are you from originally? Like, how was your early life coming up? I know you're not necessarily from like the United States, or you were born here, correct?
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm born.
So where are
I'm
you from originally?
California. I'm a California boy. I grew up in Northern California in a city called Rockland. It's where I live. I moved back to. It's where I'm at right now in Roseville. It's a city right next to it. I actually live in the neighborhood that I grew up in right now. My parents live one street over. I'm renting a house up here right now, and it's actually the same floor plan as the one I grew up in. So it's pretty fun. It's nice being back home. But the whole reason we moved back up here was because my wife and I, we grew up together. We've known each other since we were 8 years old, high school together. And her family's up here as well. So when we got pregnant, we wanted to come up here so our families could be around our daughter. And it was a blessing, man. It was a good reset that I needed. It brought a lot of perspective to my life coming back home and being around family. And, when I came back home, I lost a lot. It was like kind of like I was spiraling down. Everybody was seeing my career, personally, my physique, everything was crashing down. And around that point, and COVID hit, and then everything fell apart. I didn't know. All I know is the first month of COVID and lockdown hell was me and my buddy were getting up and we were drinking Bloody Marys for breakfast and Pepsi Corona. I think you guys saw some Corona workouts on my Instagram at one point, yeah, man, I kind of let things go, and um, you know, after Olympia, I kind of lost my way in a lot of ways, not really trying to understand where I was going to find that fulfillment in my life, and what direction God wanted me to go in. And ultimately, that's everything's changed my life is, I've fallen back to building a relationship with God and kind of understanding my purpose and where I find my fulfillment, what makes me happy. Because ultimately, where I was at after I lost my Olympia title, I was in a really bad spot mentally. I had a lot of stuff materialistically, everything I could ask for. After I lost Olympia, I bought myself a Lamborghini. I had a lot of things coming, but all those things started to sabotage myself because I started putting a lot of value into these like worldly things that didn't necessarily do anything for my soul. And I feel like God interrupted and he intervened when he needed to. There's a lot of bad people that were involved in my life at that point and put a lot of influence on things I was doing. And at that point in time, I needed an intervention of some sort, and I feel like God stepped in, put a halt to things. I lost a lot, but losing a lot, I gained even more. I put like I said, the things I valued before, like like
Material things.
Instagram, like fame, clout,
Yeah.
creating that, cars, girls, money, all those things. Like I put a lot of value, all my energy into those things. When I had that intervention, during that time, I didn't have the things that really mattered: friends, family, things that really fulfill his soul. So imagine how lonely I was. My parents didn't come to Olympia. I didn't have family there. I had a lot materialistically. I was living this high life, but inside, I was just a wreck, torn, empty. Not only that, I was dealing with bad women in my life that caused a lot of issues. We don't want to dive into that, but caused a lot of things, a lot of issues, a lot of friends that had stabbed me in the back, twisted a lot of things, and sabotaged a lot of things.
You feel like maybe with all that success like happening so fast that maybe it happened too quick for you personally, just as a person, like in hindsight?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just too much to deal with
I
all at
was
once.
26 when I won my last Olympia. I had 4 Olympia titles at 26.
And they were consecutive, right?
Yeah. I went from making like a couple $1,000s a month to doing like 7 figures. So I didn't know how to handle all that. I valued a lot of things. I did a lot of things to impress a lot of people that didn't really care about me. And it's just like, why? I wish I would have spent my money so much differently.
Right. And with that success, fame, and clout, like you probably had a lot of yes men around you, or like homies that weren't really your homies, like just wanted to like maybe post like you post them on their story, like hang around you and things like that. So looking back, you probably had a lot of like non like real friends around you too to support you when things would get rough, or things of that sort,
100%. My circle's got a lot smaller. So, that's the thing is I had so many distractions like 2018. So many.
Leading up to the Olympia, or was that after?
Leading up and after all of it. The whole year, I was partying that whole year long. I was in the Philippines. I was bouncing around. I had like 3 different girlfriends, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different girlfriends.
Oh wow, that 1 year?
I mean, I had like 2 or 3 girlfriends, but there was a point
Oh,
in
okay,
time where
got
I
you.
was just like single and just dating a whole bunch of girls.
Yeah, man.
It drains your energy as it is dealing with all that drama and then trying to prep for Olympia and go out and life. It was just impossible.
Isn't
So
that the same year? Didn't you tear your pec earlier that year too?
yeah, that was senior.
2018. So like dealing with that, the mental aspect too of that, right?
I wasn't planning on competing that year at all. Like it was like Hani had told me, I think it was like June. He's like, "You look pretty good, dude. I'm surprised you bounced back so quick." He goes, "I think you can do Olympia if you wanted to." I thought he was kidding. He's like, "No, I think you can do it." We were like 10 weeks out, 11 weeks out. I was like, you say so, let's go. And we hit the gas and I was looking pretty good. It's just everybody got better that year and bigger. And I didn't have that time to catch up to those guys. And I got beat. So I wasn't at my best. I was looking good a few weeks out, but even that, looking back, like Brandon was a lot bigger than me that year. Like
So do you
I
think?
wasn't as big as I was in 2017.
So you don't think it has anything to do with the pec tear? You don't think that slowed you down at all? It was just everybody else got
No,
bigger.
no, it did. Yeah, I only had a short amount of time. I wasn't focused. Uh, I've changed a lot of things around, including my training is completely different now. I'm a lot smarter with my training. I'm like my weak points and how to develop my weak points, and I'm more precise.
Right. So going back to that 2018 Olympia, man. So leading up to that, do you feel like you had like that sort of like naive personality going into that 4 consecutive wins, almost that untouchable type of feeling?
Yeah, I got really arrogant, man.
Yeah. So walk me through like post 2018 Olympia, like your emotions, your feelings at that point, moving forward, like the game plan.
I didn't know what the game plan was after that. I thought I was set with the one businesses that I had, and I had a partner that screwed me over pretty bad. Um, Ruined the relationship with Hani and Ibajan. I had a really good opportunity with that, and again, my ego got the best of me there and sabotaged a very good relationship I had. I had a good opportunity with Ibajan, so I would have been part owner of Ibajan if I would have took the deal that was presented to me. But my ego got the best of me. I had the wrong people in my ear telling me otherwise, and then I had to rebuild, man.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, going back a little bit, take me to the beginning, like when you first started competing, because I think men's physique started in, correct me if I'm wrong, 2011, right? That
2011,
year.
yeah, 12.
And did you compete 2011?
I was doing bodybuilding still.
Really?
I
So
was
what got you into like bodybuilding initially? Like, was there something that motivated you, just working out in
my
general?
dad always worked out, so I always liked lifting weights. And then back when I was in high school, there was Valerie Ganji. She was an IFBB pro women's bodybuilder. She ended up competing women's physique. At the same time, I was doing Olympia. Her husband was a former NPC USA bodybuilder, national bodybuilder. They were massive. I'd never seen people that big before, so I was like super infatuated by it. I started following them around the gym, and then eventually they talked to me a few months later, like, "Hey, we noticed you're doing all of our workouts, so I should train with us." And kind of hooked on it. And I did a show right after high school at 17 and fell in love with the sport, bro. When I switched over to men's physique, I just realized that I had a better opportunity moving up a lot quicker. Did I expect to win Mr. Olympia right off the bat? No, but I had that intention of winning Mr. Olympia. the intention of switching divisions and winning and becoming the best in that. And I was actually talking to my wife about this. It was like, I knew I'd win. I knew I was going to win Olympia when I took second place the first year. I was like, all right, I'm going to win this. I'm going to be the best at this.
Yeah. Dude, that's similar to I don't know if you watched last year's Olympia, but that guy got second place men's physique, E Banks.
Mm-hmm.
Very first Olympia as well. And I don't know if like Brandon wants to admit that, but dude, like for somebody to come in on their first Olympia and win number 2, like I'm shook the following year, bro, cuz like you said, men's physique now compared to like 2011, they're so much bigger.
He's a big dude. I haven't never seen him in person, so I don't know. But he's a
Yeah,
big.
but and then in general, like you compare like guys nowadays in men's physique versus 2011, 2012, like you, Sadiq, all those guys who sort of like paved the way. Dude, like back then it was more so like that summer shredded physique, right? Now it's just like classic with board shorts on. I feel like it's not. The dudes are massive. Like when you see them in person, man. So do you almost feel like the men's physique division is getting too big for the sport?
Yeah, 100%, man.
You do?
They can't even make classic weight, bro. Like I'm sitting at 197 pounds right now, lean. I'm lean 197. Keep in mind, I competed at 184 in 2017 on stage. I'm what's that, 13 pounds heavier right now, and I'm significantly bigger, significantly stronger. I'm lifting way more weight. Like it's a different level. Like my physique back then wouldn't even compete with these. It's a different look. You know, these guys, if they would have competed with me back then, they would have been last call outs because of how big they are. That's what happened to some of the guys that used to compete. There were some, I forgot their names, but there were some really big, even Arash Bar. Let's keep him for example. Okay. He was doing men's physique around my time, and he was getting, later those last call outs. But he's literally, that's what's happening now. He's like, if it would have been nowadays, he would have been placing in that top 5 with how big he is. It's just different standards.
And
So
then vice versa, like guys like Ryan Terry get overlooked because now it's just like they're looking for much bigger. Where, my opinion,
Ryan, he looks like he's gotten a lot bigger. This was his last show he did, the Arnold UK. He looked a lot bigger, a lot better. Like he's made improvements too. Like he's 220 pounds. How much bigger do you want him to get?
yeah. I think Brandon on stage last year was 193, which is what 10 pounds more than you were when you last competed. Like that's a major difference.
He told me he's only 195 right now.
Nah, he walks around like at 205, I think 200, 205.
Yeah, but he's also 2 inches taller than me too.
Yeah.
5'7". He's almost 5'10".
So do you think the way the direction the sport is going, like, do you think it'll ever get back to that, or now it's just like too far gone?
Probably not. I don't know. I don't think it can get any bigger than it is right now. I feel like Brandon's as big as it can get. It's just about him refining his physique and coming in even tighter. He's gonna be hard to beat. Like this year, I think Brandon's gonna win again this year. I'm not competing, but maybe next year. I plan on competing next year. That's what I want to do.
So you do plan on returning eventually?
Huh?
You do plan on returning eventually?
I'm going to get back on stage. The question is I'm trying to figure out right now, and I want a lot of my fans to answer this because I want to know what people want to see from me. Is would they rather see me come back and win a 5th Olympia in men's physique, or would they rather see me come in and try to crack the top 5 in classic?
Dude, I think you should go for that 5, bro. Honestly.
Yeah,
Like,
but then again, like I have a torn pec. So, we're not flexing on stage in men's physique. We're standing there straight up. Like it's hard to hide anything.
yeah, it's a different posing.
So if Brandon and I both come in absolutely perfect dialed in, what if, what are they going to, they're just going to come down to, one thing, Jeremy's pec's torn. Give it to Brandon. It's just, the thing is, it's going to be apples and oranges. If I come in, I'm not worried about being too small. I can come in at plenty of size, and that was shown in recent posts. I'm plenty big enough. If they're talking about me switching to classic potentially, I think I'm plenty big enough to compete with these guys. I packed the size on. I'm not done growing yet, and I'm going to continue to get better. I'm still younger than all these guys. I'm 31. These guys are so older than me, and I'm going to get better in the next 3 or 4 years, 5 years. So it's a matter of it's a matter of what direction I choose to go to and what I'm trying to challenge myself to do. It's really, I'm a family man now. Everything's completely different for me. I got to consider everything.
It looks like you're leaning a little bit more towards classic though. If you do come back, that's what it sounds like.
No, I mean, I don't. These guys, I'm not going to even compare myself to them right now because I wouldn't compete. You know, I wouldn't be able to stand next to Chris or Russ, Ruff, or Raymond or I saw Urus in Germany. He's fucking huge, dude. He's a big dude. He's like 40 right now, and he's big. So it's different when you see these guys in person. It's interesting. Like um, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't been out to any events other than FIBO in 3 years, so I haven't seen anybody.
Right. And I know Potman is transferring over to classic too, I believe.
I don't know. I thought he was doing men's physique at Pittsburgh.
I think eventually he's transferring over to classic.
I think he's been wanting to as soon as he gets his legs to catch up, which he's been doing a great job of doing. He's gotten a lot better, but it's still his body is so big. He's got to get those wheels to catch up, and that's how I feel he's doing the Pittsburgh Pro in men's physique because he can get back on stage and he can still compete with the best of us.
Right. So if Brandon goes on to win 4 titles this year, you wouldn't have that itch to the following year at least.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
no. That's why I want him to win next year because it would be amazing to fight for five. I would love. I think it's a great story. There's going to be a lot of eyes on us. I think I'm excited for it. It's a great story. It'd be 5 years since I've been on stage to come back to battle for that, and it would be amazing. Like I said, I'm rooting for Brandon to win this year. I think he's the most complete package on that stage right now. I'm a big fan of Diago. I think if Diago were to come in a little bit bigger and fuller, he can give Brandon a run. But Aaron's a big dude. It's tough when you're 6'7" taller than everybody, or how he's like 6'3", 6'4". I don't know. I've never seen him, but it's tough when the rest of the guys are like 5'10", 5'11" to stack up because that was the same thing that happened with Ray. Like the top kind of shifts a little bit.
Right.
Comparing?
Do you follow Brandon on Instagram?
I do.
Do you see what he posted like a couple weeks ago? Like those screenshots of all these other competitors giving him shit, I guess, over the past few years?
Yeah, and I saw my comments too. I went up to him, bro. Like I'm not the same person I was in 2018. I said a lot of things. He made me eat a lot of words, and I respect him for that because I'm doing the same thing to a lot of people right now, making people eat at the words, and it feels good. And respect for him for grinding and doing the things he's done because he's accomplished a lot, and you can't take that away from him. I sent him a message. I didn't see that message until a few days ago. I was working out with a couple of my clients, and they brought it up to me. I saw it, and I felt bad. I'm just like shit. I said some messed up things. I sent him a message, and he was like, "Dude, all respect moving forward. I'm looking forward to competing with him again." I congratulated him on his engagement with his girl and told him to keep killing it. So I'm rooting for him. Like I said, it's lonely at the top. I went through. It's tough because these guys, if they can't beat you on stage, they're going to do whatever they can to throw rocks at you to knock you off your game, and they're going to try and take you out. And I went through it, so I understand. And as the champions of our division, representing that division the way we have, I'm not going to throw rocks at him when he's down. Like I get it.
Yeah, man. And like, I think posting screenshots of like, private messages is kind of, a low blow because we've all like said things in the past that we're not proud of, right?
I've personally never done that. I don't do that. I think I kind of always said it was a bitch move to do, but people do what they do. And, this world is, this world's out to get you, bro. Like that's just the way it is. You got to be able to stay above it and, and be able to roll. And that's, what I've learned is I'm not letting people affect me anymore like I used to. Like I used to watch every single video about me and just fixate on that and let people opinions dictate my mind and what I focus my energy on. And it's not worth it, man. Like this world and what I've learned, getting my relationship back with God is like, this world is going to try to tear you down. Like the devil has influence over it. And his job is to make you feel bad about yourself, to remind you of all your failures, to remind you of all the things you've done wrong. The beautiful thing about us is that dude, we're God's creation. He watches after us, and He has died for us, and that we just celebrated on Easter. He washes that all away, and we can be made new. And if people don't believe that, if you don't believe you can change, then I feel bad for people, because people are changing and be able to. You're not the same person you were before if you make a decision to change. And you know, I'm a lot happier as a person. I feel a lot more confident when I walk. I feel a lot more sure about myself because who I am isn't going to be influenced or judged by you or them. The only person I'm held accountable to is God. And when you live that way and you start focusing on that and not being concerned with the outside noise around you, you're able to focus a lot more and get a lot more done, and you're allowed to live a lot happier life.
How did you get back to building your relationship with God? Was there like a person that like testified to you, or was there like one interaction?
Oh, and I was expecting to give my testimony right now, but it was me.
I'm very interested because it intrigues me, like people in general, because I grew up in church, and the past few years I've been questioning like a lot about just religion, Christianity, like what happens when we die. I watch a lot of Joe Rogan, so that probably has something to do with it too, like
I
scientific.
was
So I'm just curious, like,
beginning of COVID, I was saying those same exact questions. Call my parents. I don't think there's a God anymore. I was doing some mushrooms, hanging out with my buddies, like trying to trip out, trying to find this spiritual awakening, this experience. Like I said, I was lacking that fulfillment, lacking that knowledge. So I was trying to like expand and trying to find that answer, dude. I just kept falling in this deeper and deeper hole. I was trying to do every other thing to fill this hole, to try to figure out what was it going to do to make me not feel this way anymore. And dude, I tried everything, and I got nowhere. It just got worse and worse and worse to the point where I was left with no more options. And dude, I was just like, I was chilling in my garage smoking a bowl. I smoke weed, you guys, California boy. I was chilling and like I got on my, I just broke down. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I don't. What's the point? Everything I was doing, it was just like treading water. I couldn't get anywhere. And I was waking up miserable, feeling empty. And there's just like, what am I doing? Going to the gym every day, doing this, this, and this. There's nothing fulfilling about just going to the gym every single day and working out and coming home and doing nothing. Like there's my best experiences and what I feel the best is when I leave the gym and I talk to somebody, I lifted somebody up, or, did something for somebody in the gym, and you leave feeling something because you left something somewhere. Like that's the biggest thing is like I wasn't doing before. I was doing everything for myself. It's very selfish and it doesn't make you feel good. When you start giving things out, like you get things in return spiritually, like you feel better. So when you start putting good in the world, that same energy comes back to you and you're rewarded with that. So me realizing like I was trying everything else for so long, turning my back on that. I grew up in a Christian household. I went to Sunday school. I went to, church all the way through high school, and then I lost my way. So God's always been tugging on my heart. So I've always known that. When I turned my back and was doing everything for myself, that's when all the suffering started happening. It's when my soul just started to hurt. So, what changed me was just realizing that I was running out of options. And when I actually humbled myself enough to like, God, I need your help, open my heart up to letting him help me and trusting him and praying about things, doors started to open. And it wasn't like things happened like a blink of an eye, but it was like consistency, just like training. You get stronger as you keep going. Like your relationship with God gets stronger the more you stay closer to him, the more you practice, the more you go to church, the more you open up your Bible. I do my Bible study every morning when I do cardio on the Bible app. I try to get through, and that's like some sort of program every single day. There's different plans. So I go through one a day and it just starts my day off right. When you start living for the right reasons and you start putting good in the world, good things come back to you. And I've had so many lessons that have happened along the way. Like I had no sponsors, when my daughter was born. I was like, imagine that coming in. I had lost a whole bunch of money from bad investments, bad business deals. I had gotten screwed. I spent a whole bunch of money on lawsuits, lost a bunch, lost my physique, lost all my sponsors. boom, I got married, had a baby, and I was at my worst point in my life. Holy crap, what am I gonna do? So I had to ask for help, man. I had to give my life back to God and ask for his help. And you know, working with having God in my life gave me the energy to get back in the gym, to do the things I need to do to be successful again. And next thing you know, I've got a lot of sponsor. A month later, DQ hit me up. Then I got a meal sponsor, Transcend. Next thing you know, I got a whole bunch of sponsors again. My online business, it's just been one thing after another. And, I can't help but give thanks back to God for opening these doors back for me, because a year ago, I didn't think I would be sitting in this position, even thinking about competing again. I didn't think I was ever going to be traveling across the world and having fans line up for me again. It all happened. And it was just nice to be able to see that exactly 1 year ago. I remember sitting in my garage, just like, my life sucks. Like, what am I going to do? I lost everything. I'm never going to be what I was before. And I'm not ever going to be what I was before, because I'm going to be a lot better. I've learned from my past mistakes, and now I'm going to be able to implement those things that I've learned into this second opportunity, the second chance that I've been given. And it's exciting because second chances are given to us, and it's nice because we're able to redeem ourselves for things. And I'm not trying to redeem myself to people. I'm just like, I have some redeeming to do to myself, because I wasn't my best before. And now that I'm older and wiser and smarter, like, I'm going to be able to do things a lot more efficiently and better. And I'm just like looking forward to that.
Yeah, man, that's so dope. When I hear things like that, man, it definitely inspires me, and it makes me want like something similar, like a relationship like that. But I'm just so hard headed when I think of like science and like facts, and like you mentioned mushrooms. I've heard so many stories about people taking mushrooms and having these spiritual awakenings, and then they come back with a whole new outlook on life, like your
That's not
relationships.
real, man. I was talking to my buddy about that's why I don't touch anything anymore. I hardly even drink anymore. You know, it's just it's all illusion. And the devil's a master of illusion and disguise. Like, he's trying to sneak in ways and confuse and think he wants you to think he's God. And that's not the way. Tripping balls isn't the way to find God. That's not the way. That's a way to somebody dark trying to trip you out into thinking they're God. So from that perspective, that's what I've been telling some of my friends and mess around with this stuff. I'm like, man, if you're looking for that spiritual awakening, man, you need to go to church, bro. Pray, because there's power in prayer. And if you really believe and you have faith, God does answer. It's not like he's going to speak directly towards you, because he doesn't do that, but he speaks to you through people, through signs, through occurrences. Like, I've had so many times where somebody would say something to me, and then my dad would say it to me, and then somebody else would say it to me. I'm just like, okay, man, like, I get it, man. I'm not. That's how God communicates with us, but we got to be open-minded enough to accept that and understand that God doesn't operate on our level. He doesn't have to apply. He doesn't. His laws don't apply. Our laws apply to him. He is. That's where my biggest problem was, is that I'm so egotistical to think that I'm on the same level as God, that I can understand and perceive what he thinks, or the way he acts, or the way he is. No, we can't even. We're like this. We're like this. There's parts of our brain that we can't even access on our own. So we're done. So that's what it comes down to, is it's having faith and trust. And when you have that, there's nothing but bad ever comes out of it. God makes you a better person. That's what he's done for me. Man, I was not expecting to come out here and preach on this, but
No, I think it's dope.
I'm glad I'm able to, man. It's nice. God's changed my life for the better. And I've been attacked online by a couple of people calling me out, and that's fine. That's the Bible. It's going to happen, and that's cool. I'm going to let people see the way he's changed my life, to help motivate and inspire you guys to develop a relationship with him, so hopefully he can make that same impact. He will make that same impact in your life in some way, if you guys should let him lead you.
Yeah, man. Well, listen, if the fitness doesn't work out, you move to Florida and let's start a church, bro. Be past that.
Hey, no, man. One of the things I do want to do is, be able to go out and do some missionary work and give back. I have a charity foundation I've talked about in the past. It's literally been sitting there, and I'm trying to figure out how I can get this going. It's a good chunk of money to get started, and I haven't utilized it, and that's something I plan on still doing in the future. I have a lot of other plans coming up into 2023. I plan on opening a gym in Orange County within the next 6 months. I'm flying next week to look at some potential warehouse space and flying to North Carolina to look at some equipment. So I'm at my own gym by the end of the year, and a lot of things are opening. Like I said, a lot of doors have been opening, and it's really fortunate.
That's dope, man. Well, be prepared for lawsuits, according to Bradley Martin.
Care
In
to
case
what?
there's another, be prepared for lawsuits, according to Bradley Martin, because like supposedly through the pandemic he stayed open with his gym, and he
He's
had
in
to go
LA.
to court.
No, I'm gonna be in Orange County.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Dude, I'm in Florida. I don't know you guys' counties. I'm sorry.
The counties Orange County is way more chill than LA County.
Gotcha. Okay. Listen, man, wrapping up here. So I have a 7-year-old daughter, and I could tell you once she was born, bro, like my whole perspective on life changed. So I want to talk about like your family, man. Now your family in general. Like, how was that day for you when your daughter was born? Walk me through that, bro, because I'm curious.
It was wild. It was a crazy experience. It was the best day of my life. I mean, it was a really intense experience. My wife, we had induced labor, so it was like over 24, 30 something hours. It was insane. My wife's a tough cookie, so it was a good experience. And my daughter is she's like my little mini me. Little mannerisms, and she's the best thing that ever happened to me. It's so nice. I work from home too, so I'm able to spend a lot of time with her. My wife's a stay-at-home mom,
Not
so
miss out on any big moments.
mm, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
I don't
Yeah, I
know.
remember like I had like aspirations of competing one day, like 7 years ago when I first like started following all you guys on Instagram. But like now it's like, dude, I'm not living for myself anymore. Like I got to be able to stay around as long as possible for her sake, right? And like with all these people dying at such a young age in the industry, man, it just scares me because like going back to guys getting bigger, like it's only getting more and more competitive in this fitness industry and it's getting more dangerous. So it's like with that being said, you being a family man now, do you ever think about like that aspect of competing
100%.
again?
You see Colin Muscle's video this morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yep.
scared the shit out of me.
Same shit. Yep.
I was driving to the
Yeah.
gym like,
Yeah, dude.
100%, man. And fortunately, I've been able to work with Transcend HRT. They've been doing a great job of making sure my blood work's up to date, making sure I'm staying healthy. I'm not taking nearly the stuff I used to take right now, looking the way I'm feeling great. I'm utilizing some different peptides like MK677, IGF-LR3, and those things are really working together along with some HGH, a little bit of HGH. So it's like help my body change. And I've been able to keep fear lower, and I feel a lot healthier. There's always that scare. And, I get my blood work done every 3 months. Get EKGs done. My blood pressure checked very regularly. But, the best thing I can do is try to keep myself as healthy as possible. I know I don't plan on doing this for very many more years. If I can try to get some shows in and one before I'm 35 and be done, that would be amazing. I just want to come back and walk away from the stage on better terms and with, I want to be able to be more proud of what I walk away from opposed to the way I walked away, and that way that last year went. I left a lot of sour taste in a lot of people's mouths when my name comes up, and I don't want to change that. You know, I think this time around is gonna be a lot different, especially for my daughter. I want to be able to raise her above my head on stage one day, and like you said, we aren't first anymore, and it's been a huge change up. Getting married and having a family, because before I was the most selfish person you could imagine, and the day she was born, and instantly, it's just like, if you're a man, you have a child, and it didn't change you. You take a step back and look at yourself, because you know my daughter copies everything I do. You know, I was outside just stretching, doing squats this morning.
took her look over. She's doing squats.
Yeah. Yep.
Everything, I watch my mouth on my daughter too because I don't want her saying anything. She just picks things up. So it's just an accountability thing, and being a father has made me better.
Yeah. Makes us better, bro. 100%. Well, listen, man. I really enjoyed this conversation, man. I wasn't expecting what we talked about, but I really appreciate your time. I really, as a spectator, as a fan, I hope to see you back, like on the Olympia stage, competing against Brandon, top two, as a fan, because I want to see that rematch, bro.
That's what I want.
Um,
I would love that.
yes. And I hope to see you at expos soon too, man. Like I go to a lot throughout the country, so hoping to see you there soon. And thanks again, man. I really appreciate your time.
Of course,